Hello, hi. Welcome to another one of the taste test vlogs in which I question my hair. Blame the humidity. And also, it's early in the morning. The heat wave is the only time I'm not gonna die by turning off my fans to do this. I say as I'm dying. It's been 30 seconds. Um, hello, taste test vlogs. A vlog series in which I taste test certain genres. First self-explanatory there. In a vlog, most of them one-parters, but a bunch of romantic-y, blah, blah, blah. There is a playlist, though, on that above the cards, right? This one is small town romances, right? The first one of these, I'm doing this now because the audiobook is due like tomorrow. So I gotta read it ASAP. And that's the hardest one fitting it for one of the genres in this because apparently it's just like cozy mystery as well and all this stuff. The other two I own. And if there's anything I know about myself, I don't read books when I own them. Also I have such a hard time trying to find books for this. So one of the other ones that I own, looking up small town romances. Apparently, Book Lovers by Emily Henry is a small town romance. So I put it on the list. We'll see. I did just download a bunch of gay small town romances for Stuff Your Kindle Day, so any of those could have worked, but you know, I made this list like 6 months ago, so it's fine. Book Lovers. The reason why I haven't read it yet, despite the fact that this is most likely after we read the high chance I have of liking one of her books. Right? The cover is very me. It came out, I want to say, a day or two before my birthday. Yeah. And I already talked about how like the cover's blue, which is so, that's my color. I remember when the cover was announced and I sent it to Bestie, who, this is back when I started to start reading again, and I had read Beach Read for 3 times already, right? And she was like, oh my goodness, that's you. That's for you. She made it for you. And then I read People We Meet on Vacation and didn't like it and got scared that Beach Read would just be like this one book by her I liked if I read another one and didn't like it. And so I just never picked it up. And I'm crazy. And I do have it on my iPad. I own it on Apple Books, thanks to my sister. So I should read it. I know I should. But look at me. The other one I also owned, I bought this one back in college. Good God. I think sophomore year of college. I don't know. There's like a whole thing where the first book was like 99 cents, and I started to watch the show. That's Virgin River. Yeah, I started to watch the show. I think I only watched a few episodes because I was like, I'll read the book first, and then never read the book because I'm me. And then my sister told me to give it another try, so I read all season 1 and stopped. But I did like it, and she told me to watch it, and then I want to say like 6 months ago, I finally watched the whole thing. Right before the new season came out is when I watched the whole thing. I watched all of it in like 3 days, with a day and a half to spare for the next season. What's his name? Brady. He's in my pocket. I love him. Moving on. You know, it became this weird thing that then I would just say out of context weird things happened in the series to people, and they'd be like, what the fuck? And because the wildest things happened in that series. And then I had sister's boyfriend watch it, and they were watching it together, and so he and I were just dying, like, what the fuck? Anyways, I did have the urge to rewatch it, so I thought maybe I'd read it soon. I did get halfway through season 3. Yes, because it was post somebody getting shot. And then stopped rewatching that and started rewatching Westworld, and now I'm on season 2 of that. Finally. We don't need to talk about it. So, yeah, that didn't happen. But maybe I'll read it. I don't know, there's like 16 billion books in that series. And I think there was one published in like one of the 2020s. So, wild. She still occasionally comes out with one. And then the one that I'm starting today, the whole reason we're here is Pumpkin Spice Cafe. Right? That one. That cozy series that everybody loves. I know this is the fall one. And we're in the middle of heat wave. Oh, we can all fucking deal with it. I know, like, nothing about it. I will tell you something about it after I've read the whole thing. I'll tell you what it is and whether or not I liked it. My sister, I don't know if she finished it, but she did start it. I remember because our Kindle accounts are connected now, and I had it from the library for the longest time. And I kept on having to renew it, even though I wasn't picking it up, because she was reading it. And then I learned it was on Kindle Unlimited, and so I just downloaded it from there. Though she has Kindle Unlimited right now, too, so I don't need to keep it when I finish it. She says that I will get through it very fast. I did say it's under 300 pages, and it has a map and a Spotify playlist. I took a photo of it. I don't think I saved it to my phone. But yes, she said that it is fast. I'll be able to get through it very easily. The audiobook is like, I haven't opened it, and you know how Libby says like it's 7 hours, and then you open it and it's like 6.5, right? So I don't know if it's actually 7. It could be 6.5. It could be 7.5. But I think I can read this bitch really fast. Anyways, I gotta go downstairs with the puppy can get out of the heat. I don't know why she's staying up here with me. That's it. I will update you at some point. I know I should update you when I finish it, but it's gonna be boiling hot, and there's gonna be 16 billion fans in the AC on because they're already all on. So I don't know when I'll update you. Maybe when I go to get ready for bed, I'll update you. I'll like briefly turn off my fans. That makes sense. I'll do that then. There's the fan going up there. You don't hear it. Yes, I'm in my sister's room for this. This is the best room that's not hot as fuck with all the fans in AC. But isn't boiling hot. Well, it is, but it isn't. Right. I read all of Pumpkin Spice Cafe, and I know Licky. Two sides. Apparently I'm not the only one. One, a lot of it felt pointless, right? Like, just very basic. But also, it was basically if someone was just paying homage to Gilmore Girls, which I sensed. And then if you actually look at her Goodreads page, it's literally just it says at the end that if you like Gilmore Girls, right? Like, that's the point. Which makes sense for it starting in fall then, right? The most obvious scene for this is the town meeting scene, right? In which it very vividly reminded me of it. And like, his name is Logan, though he is definitely more of a Luke. And all this stuff, but I was just like, because like, it just reminded me of Gilmore Girls. I was like, what if I just rewatch Gilmore Girls instead? Like, right? And then, so if you take that and mix it with the Love Light Farm series, that series, which I already felt made a lot of the stuff that I was not liking in that book series, because I think I read In the Weeds, the second one as well. Things, especially the first one, that I really did not like was in this book as well, including but not limited to a character affecting her business poorly, like sabotaging her business because he was supposed to buy it, and then getting no recompense. Like, she does go to the police, but then when she figures out who did it, she was like, it's not an issue, and he just says sorry and gives her money. Like, that's a legit plot point in both of them, and I hate that in both of them, because it's like, I'm sorry, what? Like, he literally broke into your business, broke multiple stuff to where you had like pay people to come and repair things multiple times. You had complaints all the time from stuff being broken or not working right. So like, and in Love Life Farm, I remember it was worse because like, she almost lost her business because of it. And in this one, it wasn't like that level, but somebody did like break the windows of her business that she also lives in. She lives in an apartment above it, and didn't think that was a bad idea until she started talking about how scared she was because that happened. Anyways, this follows Jeannie and Logan. Jeannie used to be like high up assistant to the CEO at a company in Boston. But then suddenly one day she finds her boss dead of a heart attack, and so she's all like, the doctor was all like, one of the reasonings, like on top of a bunch of other health things, was stress. And so she's like, I need to change my life because I don't have any real friends, and I'm too stressed all the time, and I haven't lived the life that I've wanted my whole life. And then her aunt is retiring, who owns this cafe in this small town called Dream Harbor, right? And leaves it to her to run. So she moves into this small town that she hasn't been to in like over a decade. She used to go there on holidays when she was a child, but that's it. To run this cafe. And she does eventually, like, the one aspect I really did like was the friendship aspect. She makes friends with a lot of people in this town, and that part was sweet. I did like that, right? But like, her first day there, things are already going wrong. She can't sleep because there's like a lot of scratching and whatnot, and she's like scared, and she's going to check it out, and that's when she meets Logan. She's ready to knock off his head with a baseball bat because he's doing produce delivery because he runs the farm. And so then and this is another thing I don't like. Whenever I get you have issues right now, like the whole entire aspect I already talked about, but like anytime she has issues, Logan will be slightly nice to her for 5 seconds, or just be in the vicinity, and she'll just start breaking down and trauma dumping or crying in front of him, and he'll just be there like, I don't know what to do. Including on their first meeting, in which she starts complaining about this. He's like, okay, I'll go to the town meeting, and bring it up, and people make it so that he is the one that helps her out. Oh no, it's a cat. Right, and they start becoming friends, and then he's immediately into her, so they start becoming more than friends. But he has a bit of issues from both family stuff, but also his ex, who left him after he did a very public proposal in front of everybody. Hear me out. Don't do public proposals unless you've already talked to the person that you're proposing to about the idea of marriage, and you know they're gonna say yes. Because that scares me so much. Like, that's so gross and weird. And like, okay, so she literally physically ran away from you in that moment. Cool. At least she felt like she could say no. Because if that was me, I would feel like, because of all the pressure, I'd have to say yes, and then later on I'd be like panicking because I meant to say no, and then like, how do we tell all these people this, and how do I tell you this, and tell all our family this and everything? Like, no, that's a horrible situation to be in. Anyways, so like, he is in constant fear of falling in love again because he doesn't want that person to leave him, like everybody else in his life. And the way that it literally spells, one of the characters spells it out to him later on in the book, and I'm just like, yeah, this is a thing that I knew like within the first chapter of his POV, right? And then also he doesn't want anybody in the town to know all his business. That's like his other thing, so they have to keep the relationship secret that everybody knows, right? And it's just all vivid, everything, nothing sticks. Like, even the stuff where, like, somebody's clearly sabotaging her place of business. Also, I'd like to know, she mentioned that somebody was sabotaging her place of business, and he was like, no, you're fine. And then the breaking into her place and her windows happens later that night, and she doesn't tell him. And he's all like, hey, maybe this is a serious thing. And then later on, almost tells her to calm down about it, and it's not a big deal. And then he's like, well, maybe it is a big deal, because somebody did break in. I'm like, no shit. No shit. Anyways, you know, just a bunch of, like, that stuff, it goes on for, like, in the background for, like, 2 chapters, and then the person who did it is like, actually, like, this and this and this, and it was me, and bye. Oh, this is why, and bye. And then her aunt comes back into town and confronts this person. And Ginny's already like, I forgive you. And her aunt's like, I'm sorry, I should have communicated more. This is blah, blah, blah. And then Logan's still like, I'm gonna fight a bitch. I'll give Logan this. That is when I give you the, okay to fight a bitch. When he literally gives your girlfriend stress, so much stress over her business, but also over the fact that somebody broke into her place. I'm never gonna stop bringing this up. Anyways, 2 stars. What did I learn about this? I like the community aspect of small town romances, if it's well done. But if there's gonna be a whole mystery aspect, or like something bigger than just like the romance, there's gotta be proper like repercussions for that stuff. It can't just be because it's cozy small town romance. It can't just be like, oh, it's brings past when people do actually illegal shit that is not okay. That's the other thing I learned. And that's the update. I am sweating, so I'm gonna go make my dinner. Goodbye. Shush, hold on, but I get it. Because this is the first update I'm doing for a vlog since it came yesterday, which is a Prime Day deal thing. I did get later shipping on my sister's account for the credits type thing. Usually she uses them to get ebooks, and we have shared Kindle accounts, so it was beneficial for me either way to do that. So books, I would open them in a minute, but first we gotta talk about Virgin River. You know, Robin, I really hope you really love my $2 that I spent on this book 5 years ago. Despite that, I did learn that it was on my other Kindle account, and my main Kindle account is connected to my sister's account, so I can't like have it connected to my other Kindle account, right? I have like 5 books on that account, right? That just happens to be one of them. And now when I am signed in on my iPad, I didn't want to have to read 2 books on my iPad, so I got it from the library, with the understanding that maybe it would make me read the book faster. I should really read Book Lover sooner rather than later. It's just with how many library books I have out right now. We'll see. But I was like, okay, that will make me get through this vlog faster, so that can go up, right? And then, it's due tomorrow at 11 a.m. It is currently 8 p.m. I am tired of heat wave, farm work in heat wave. Also, I just been dealing with a lot of health stuff, so I've just been more tired. And so, it got to the point where I could sit down and try to finish it tonight, because I know I won't have time in the morning. Or I could just be in at 31 pages in, which is the first chapter. Yeah, my review boils down to, it is a product of its time. I think it came out in like 2006, 2007. I can double check that, but it's something like that. It's definitely a product of its time. I was explaining to my sister, because yeah, 2007, we both love the show, and her boyfriend, I got her boyfriend into it. So I was telling her about it, the reasons why I wasn't the biggest fan of it, including Doc coloring her strumpet twice. And then, in Jack's POV, we got his POV for like 3 pages, in which, I learned the reason why he really wants her to stay. Like, I knew in the show it makes it obvious that, like, yeah, he's into her, that's why he wants her to stay, but also, like, yeah, because, like, he's Jack, I don't know. But in the book, the reason why he wants her to stay is because her heart-shaped lips, sure, and how her fanny fills out her jeans. Yeah, after I read that, I went, no. I would like to know, there's a thing in the show, spoilers, I guess, where for half of season 1, you don't know her husband's dead. You keep on getting flashbacks of the relationship, and at that point, you know that their child died. So they set it up like you think that maybe they're separated or divorced because of the fights that they were having because of this, right? And then you learn, oh no, he's dead. And he just really fast. It's fine. It's my go-to show when I want to have a cry. Anyways, no, in the first like few pages, you learn that he's dead. And the one thing I will note that she did really well was the grief about that. Yeah. One thing that I thought was questionable, right, was how the main reason why Mel left LA is because she was like a trauma nurse, right? And she didn't like working in a place where all her I was gonna say customers, all the people she sees in her workplace are either perpetrators of crimes or victims of crimes, and she didn't want to see that anymore. And I was like, hello, but I don't think LA is like that. At least a good chunk of LA. I don't like, probably a part of LA because it's a city, but like I don't. Right? But also gave me a little bit of the, no, the reason why, this did make me laugh, the reason why is, because we learned at the end of chapter 1, her husband died, because after work, he went to the gas station to pick up milk. I don't know why you go to the gas station to pick up milk, but that's a me thing. He went to the gas station to pick up milk for cereal in the morning when there was a robbery happening, and he got 3 times in the chest, and that's how he died. Yes, I did start laughing. In my defense, he dies in a car crash in the show, so I was used to that version and didn't read that, and it was completely different. And also, I'm just gonna say, for Mel's character in the show, the way they did it, I liked it better. I didn't read enough of the book to choose, like, is it good for her character in this version type thing. I don't know. Also, my favorite thing was her talking about how, like, people who are victims of crime, drug dealers and stuff like this. And me knowing in the show, like, when the first 3 episodes, she's at a drug plantation, I don't know what to call it, where she has to sew up the drug lord's leg from a gunshot wound and also delivers a baby. So, also, there's, like, early on, there's a whole thing where she's held up by a drug addict for, like, some hard stuff. And she's like, I don't have any of that here. Anyways, I'll just rewatch the show again. I recently did, for at least the first few seasons. It's my comfort show now. We don't need to talk about it. Anyways, yeah, I DNF'd it. What did we learn? Any romance book before 2010. I gotta give it a second thought if I want to read it. Which, as somebody who just went through my whole entire TBR, let me tell you, there were some from the 90s, some, like, not many, like, 3 or 4 historical romances from the 90s, and the one time I tried that, it was a big no for me. So, yeah, no, I think I just got anything written pre-2015 when it comes to romance. I'm gonna give, like, a second thought. Anyways, we're gonna get book mail. In my defense for these is that these are books that I have to buy physically. Anyways, one of them at least, because it is on my 25 and 25, and you can only read it physically, right? Because the way the book is. We can blame books and law for both of them, and so I was just gonna buy the one, but then I saw the other one, which I also wanted to buy him, was also on sale, and the price of the 2 of them on sale was the price of, like, one of them normally, and they're like $30 pop, right? So I think it was like $20 for me. So I just went, F it, I'm gonna buy both. The one that for my 25 and 25 is only Revolutions. I know she said books and all that said she didn't like it. Ow. But I don't know how to read this. This is gonna be an experience. I gotta wait. What I was expecting is about the author is the same on both sides, but upside down. Because I know there's, like, a whole thing where there's, like, a story this way, but then you have to flip it upside down and read the story this way every certain amount of pages, and so you're basically reading 2 books in one. It seems like the type of thing that is very decoded. Other thing, I mean, listen, based off what I said is the same author, you should have guessed that the other one's gonna be House of Leaves. That's what I'm actually really excited for. Oh my god, it's so floppy. Oh my god. Oh, so this is so wide. I don't know where I'm gonna put these as a future B issue. Oh, I don't know what's happening here. There's, like, normal Times New Roman in a mini, like, skinny paragraph, and then, like, a footnote here, and then it's in, like, almost like typewriter or old-timey, you know, writing text for, like, all of this, and then we get normal Times New Roman, and then mini Times New Roman, and then I don't know. Remastered full color edition. Oh, great. I love how I did that. Wait. Is this supposed to be, like, it's a book within a book type thing? Exhibits 1, 6, Appendix 2, Appendix 3, Index Credits. And that's all it is. No, this, because now that I think about it, this font gives me more, like, first draft, you know, in, like, movies. The only one I can think of is The Shining, where you see, like, his book on the table, right? Like, when you see it all in print for the first time, that type thing. So that's what it looks like. So it looks like somebody's book with notes written inside. The Davidson records. Okay. I don't know what any of this is. This may be too highbrow for me. But I'm excited. Right? I know one of my college friends read it recently and liked it, so I should stop looking at it. I don't know how to read either one of these, and that's gonna be a thing I have to look up. He's the author of House of Leaves. Wow, I would have never guessed. Wait, is this the side 2? Okay. But there's also side 2. Never mind, this one's golden, this one's green. Huh? Also, how do I log what page I'm on? I'm confused. I'm gonna have to look into it, and I will write it down. National Book Award finalist. Intriguing. It's also on this side. What did I buy? At least, maybe, I will have a good experience, or an experience at all reading these. That's that. That's my review, and also me opening books and then getting very confused and having to look up how to read them. You ever have to look up how to read a book? It has finally happened. I don't think I even found this flannel since the last time I updated you. Oh my god, it's been so long. it's like a new year. It's a legit new year. I finally read Book Lovers. I literally finished it 5 seconds ago. I think I got to 79% before the end of the year. And then life happened. It was stressful. And now I'm back. And I just finished it. I was slowly making my way through it. And then I realized the other day I only had like 6 chapters left. So it's not even noon yet. And I've done a ton today, including finishing this book. I can finally cross it off my goddamn list. Oh my god, it's so exciting. Listen, I did go in knowing essentially nothing other than they both work in like editing or something to do with that in the book field, in publishing field, right? And it was kind of enemies to lovers. Otherwise, I knew nothing. So imagine my surprise when I started, and it's New York City, and I started being really worried, because it was supposed to be a small town romance. Thank you very much. I'm trying to think of all the other small town romances I read for this, and the way that the one that ends with them living in New York City is the one that I liked at all. 4 stars. It's my second favorite Emily Henry. I say this, I've only read 3. Third place is People We Meet on Vacation. I didn't like it. Then again, that's Friends to Lovers, and I generally don't like Friends to Lovers, which is also why I'm scared of Happy Place. I also have Happy Place and Funny Story. My sister bought like Happy Place, Funny Story, and Book Lovers all for me. Well, technically for both of us, but and then she shared it with me type thing. But I didn't like People We Meet on Vacation, so I was scared to read it. Despite the fact that Beach Read is one of my favorite books of all time. Like, if you don't know the impact of this book on me, I read it for the first time shortly after it came out, right? And then my father dies in the middle of December, and about a month later, for some reason, I was just like eating up any book near me, right? And reading a book that I already read before seemed like a good idea because I already knew it was gonna happen, and I knew I liked it, and so that seemed like a good idea. So like in the middle of January, I decided to pick up Beach Read again because the main character's name is January, and so I was like, that'd be funny, which is why generally when I reread it, I either reread it in January or August because August is his name. I think it's August or Augustus or something like that. Close enough, right? And so I picked it up again, like almost exactly a month after. Ow! Who let me do that? Betsy did. Anyways, so that's like, Beach Read impacted me in a way that no other book has before, just because of that. That being said, Book Lovers is similar enough where I really enjoyed it. I definitely get the things people said where if you like Beach Read, you'll like Book Lovers. If you like People We Meet on Vacation, you won't. I get that. I understand that now. It's so similar that they're actually connected. The book that January is writing throughout all of Beach Read is mentioned in this one. Like, Charlie, the love interest, was the editor for it and recommends it to Nora. So that's great. When that happened, I was like, I know that book, I know that name. Anyways, what is this about? Nora is, you know, the stereotypical, like, Hallmark movie type thing where, there's the blonde, powerful woman who lives in the city with her partner, and the partner has to go back to his hometown or to a small town for work or anything amongst those, right? And then, he, finds the true meaning of Christmas and love there and falls in love with a Christmas tree farm owner, and they fall in love, and he leaves his bitchy partner in the city because she doesn't have true feelings and all that stuff. She's the blonde. She's the one that's left behind. She's like the bleach blonde, always wearing heels, lives in New York City, never stops working, but she loves the work type thing. Right? And this has happened to her multiple times. One of them actually, I think, fell in love with a Christmas tree, like a woman whose family owns a Christmas tree farm, and she's like, that makes no sense. Like, what? Right? Like, income-wise, like, the trees are dying. Like, what? Huh? Right? It's all like, that's like a whole thing. So she's always the one that's left. Like, technically she's been cheated on 4 times because this has happened to her 4 times where the guy, after like a month or 2 being away, will call her up and be like, I'm breaking up with you, I found somebody else. Technically cheating on her. Right? This has happened to her 4 times. The night or the day she meets Charlie is the 4th time it happens, I believe. 3rd or 4th. And she's meeting with editors for, she's an agent, right? Publishing agent. And so she's meeting with editors, and he is very rude, and whatnot. And then it cuts to the future in which she's hanging out with her sister Libby, who is pregnant with her 3rd kid. And there's been like a lot of emotional distance between them recently. Libby's keeping secrets, and so Nora's like blaming herself, whatnot. And so the book that Charlie was rude about, right, takes place in this small town, and Libby's obsessed with that book. So she decides to make a plan where they go for like a month or something like that on vacation to the real town that's based off of. And so they go there. There's this whole plan to do a bunch of stuff. Like small town things, like go on a date with a small town guy and fall in love and blah blah blah, right? Repair run down business, like stuff like that. And lo and behold, the reason why Charlie didn't like the book is because that's the small town he's from. He's like, that's not what I really like. And he's also there because his father recently had a stroke, and so he's like I gotta take care of the family type mindset, which she understands because when she was 20 and Libby was like 15, 16, their mother suddenly died. And so she became the legal guardian of a teenager, while also going to college, while also having to pay for all these bills, right? And so that's why she's always hardworking and whatnot, but she's always been more like a mother to her own sister, which comes into issues, especially since Libby's dealing with the fact that, like, she is about to give birth to her third child, and she's living in New York City, and so like she's New York City poor, right? But there's not enough space for 5 people, 3 of which are growing children, right? And all this stuff. And so yeah, it's a lot of Charlie and Nora being like the only ones to really understand the other one, right? He's dealt with how his whole entire family and the whole town is completely different from him, and so like he's never felt like he's belonged in this town. It wasn't until he went to New York City that he realized, oh, like this is how I'm supposed to feel, like all this stuff. And he's the only person to understand why she loves working, why she loves the city, or the importance of her job to her, all this stuff. But also like her importance of wearing shoes that like technically are like you shouldn't be wearing them on a dirt road. They're nice shoes, and she wants to wear them, like stuff like that. And okay, we have to talk about how Libby. I'm not gonna go into depth because it is kind of spoilers, but I don't like Libby. And hear me out. It's because it's the way she is, but it's not on purpose, right? Right? It just personally bothers me. Right? Like it reminds me. I don't. Rose goes into a tangent. 9 minutes into a clip time. So I remember there was a thing about a study had done or a questionnaire done about people's least favorite TV show characters, right? And a lot of, or most hated TV show characters. And like in the top of the list was Joffrey and Ramsay in Game of Thrones, right? And it's like, yeah, they're written to be like because you hate them, that means they're written well, right? Type thing. They did their jobs properly, all this stuff. And that's how I view Libby, because I kind of hate Libby. Like she bothers me so much. But she's the things that bother me about her, she's written like that on purpose. Like that's like there's a whole entire character arc there, both with her and Nora and their whole entire relationship, right? Because Nora's had to be her mother for like even before their mother died and all this stuff. And so it's like this whole aspect in their relationship, and like I hate the things that Libby does, and how she like even talks about Nora to like strangers, like making disparaging comments about how Nora works all the time and never stops working. And the whole book is essentially Libby trying to make Nora not relax, but actually move to a small town and like be a completely different person, not understanding fully that like, no, this city is what Nora loves, right? Like that's her thing. She would not feel alive if she lived in a small town, right? Like she could see how she could be happy, possibly, but like it wouldn't be the same, right, for her. And all this stuff. So it's like this whole thing where Libby has to realize this and Nora has to tell her her feelings, and stop babying her with all this stuff, and so that they both can realize this stuff and like have a better bond as siblings, right? And right, like it's cute and it's well done. It's just she pisses me off so much up until that point that I don't like her. Mostly for the comments she makes about Nora. It makes Nora feel bad for herself, and then Charlie has to be like, no, like those are great things about you. Like I like the fact that you're a shark, in your field and get what your clients need no matter what, because that means you're good at your job, right? And all this stuff. And so, it's that, but there's also this whole, the other aspect of this book is the fact that Charlie is essentially moving back to his hometown, even though he kind of hates it there, and he loves the city, and he's a city person, to take care of his family, because, his sister has secretly gotten married, and is in another country, and his mother can't, like, run anything to save her life. The bookstore they own, if she was in charge, she would open it at a different time every day, just when she feels like it, right? That's the type of person she is, and the dad has had a stroke recently, so, like, he was the one who always like fixed up the house when something went wrong. So somebody's got to do that. Somebody's got to take care of him. Somebody's got to keep the store open and running, and hopefully making a profit so they can live. All this stuff. And so it's like them being in love, right? But knowing the fact that she's going to be going back to the city at the end of this month, and he's going to be staying behind, and what to do about that is a whole aspect of this book. There's a lot of similarities to Betrayed. I'm not going to go in depth about them, but that is a thing that I noticed. And I was like, okay, I see what you did here. Right? But they were slightly different enough. Like there's this whole, I'm not gonna go into detail, but there's this whole aspect where the list that Libby made, he makes a deal that if she completes them all, he will give her his rent controlled apartment in New York City. That's like a gold mine. Oh my god. Because like he's not gonna be living there anymore. Anyways, at this point she doesn't know that. But her plan is to give it to Libby, right? And so he's like, yeah, you can have it if you do everything. And then in actuality, he plans to give it to her all along and all this stuff. And so it doesn't really matter. But then she's like trying to finish this deal that they made. And, great times. They fall in love. It's cute. The ending, the last 5 chapters, I'll be honest, everything I read today was very predictable. I could see where it was going from a mile away, but it was still cute. It was still a good book. 4 stars. I have a migraine, and so I'm gonna go. I need to go, like, make electrolytes or something. Why does this keep happening to me? Anyways, I'm gonna go. End of video stuff. If you want to see me read, or behind the scenes stuff, or game, Twitch is linked below. Speaking of gaming, Wednesdays are gaming videos, which are slightly edited down portions of gaming streams. So those are on Wednesdays. And then Saturdays are booked videos like this. This is going up in February, so I don't know exactly what's coming out next, but I have a bunch of romance videos planned. So stay tuned for that. The end. Goodbye. I'm going to go drink my electrolytes until the next video.